Well, howdy everybody. Welcome to High Road into the high country of northern New Mexico. And this is rugged terrain. This week, we're going to be just outside of Chama in the tough high country mountains chasing elk at the Quinlan Ranch. So last year, I brought Maddie out here and she hunted with Nevin and they waited to the last minute to get her bull.
There's a bull right behind her.
That's a good bull. That's a good bull.
Oh my God, he's huge.
Take him.
There's a tree. Hang on.
Yes. Solid hits. Oh my God. He's going down. He's going down.
That is a good bull.
Thank you so much.
My name is Nevin Shippey. I'm a guide here on the Quinlan Ranch here in Chama, New Mexico. I've known Keith for several years now. Keith is a great guy. He's just straight up, he's honest about what he's doing, a good hunter. I'm gonna really enjoy this week with him.
Nevin is my guide, and Nevin is a quiet guy. He's tough as a board. I mean, that guy can walk and walk and walk. And so we have a hard time keeping up with him. He doesn't say much, but when he says something, you need to listen. Okay, he knows that mountain and he knows the elk like the back of his hand. And so I just always remember the old saying, never guide your guide, especially somebody like Nevin. So I always say if you're gonna travel across the street or across the world, the first thing you better do when you get to hunting camp is check zero on your rifle. So I set up a determinator target and got started. I put up 2 of these determinator targets. The reason why is I'm gonna shoot one of them off the bench. I'll take 5 shots and put them in this one off the bench. And then I'm gonna take the Kofjager and I'll put 5 shots in this right here. And the reason why is because more than likely I'll be shooting off the Kofjager if I get a shot at an elk. All right, we're all set up now. All right, got my bags on here. All right, you know, a lot of people think that Timber Creek only makes MSR products, but they don't. I mean, of course, they make the best MSR products, but they also make scope covers and shooting bags just like this. So we use them all the time, and we're gonna take a shot right now to see what we got. Oh! Look at that shot. Let's send 3 more, see what happens. The one thing about shooting these targets, this has given me so much more confidence. It's a confidence builder. Very nice. Nice. All right, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change gears and I'm going to shoot 5 more shots off my Kofjager. I'll shoot the left target. On the back of the determinator target, there's got a lot of really good information that's going to help you become a better shooter. And part of that information includes tips on how to practice and why to practice that way. And part of that is doing, well, what I'm doing here. Okay, more than likely I'm going to be sitting at a water hole. And more than likely at a water hole, I know exactly where the animal's going to be, so I'm going to have my rifle all set up. I'm going to try to duplicate the exact same shooting position with this target. Oh. Dead elk right there. That's a dead elk. I'm telling you, I'm very, very happy with that, and confidence. Confidence is key to doing anything properly, and that target is going to give you a lot of confidence. So this year, I don't like waiting to the last minute unless I absolutely have to. So my strategy is, you know what? I'll shoot on the first day what I shoot on the last day, as long as it's the animal I'm looking for.
We're gonna go in and we're gonna try to locate bulls. It's been hot and dry here for the last several weeks. The bulls are not bugling like they should be for this time of year. We're into late September. We're gonna get into the timber and try to locate and go after them.
We got a rifle with us this year. I mean, rifle will shoot really good. So tell me, I'm gonna spray you down. Tell me what the plan is.
We're gonna cut around, get up on the high point here, and look down the bottom there. There's a pond down there. We're gonna see what's hanging around that area.
Okay. All right. Let me just spray down a little bit and we'll head on up there. It's about middle of the afternoon. So we're gonna get a high spot and hopefully see if we can hear somebody talk before dark.
The terrain here in Chelma on the Quinlan Ranch is anywhere from the oak brush you see here to pines up to almost 10,000 elevation on the mountain.
A guy that lives, a flatlander like me, a guy that lives in Texas, I mean, it takes a while to get used to it. And Nevin, he just goes right up the hills. And so anyway, it's tough. I mean, it's exhausting. You're carrying a backpack with your gear and you better be in shape because when you come up here, you're gonna be doing some walking. As long as we got cloud cover, it's really nice. Temperature's comfortable. We're gonna be up here on top. We're gonna be moving around down some of these ridges and listening. It's middle of the afternoon and everything's quiet, but now's the time that if I was a big bull, I'd be standing up thinking about moving around.
Yep.
There's some water down here, right?
Yeah. Hey, there's a pond down here. Let's go check it out.
All right, let's go. I look at a tree like that and I think, I wonder how many years old it is. That is ancient. I guess lightning struck it. It's still alive. Strategy elk hunting, you know, it is tough to spot and stalk, especially in country that is as dry as potato chips. It has been so dry up here that the water holes are just about all dried up. We're walking around checking these guys. There's a little bit of water in them, a lot of mud. It'd be a great place for one to come wallow, but not to get a drink. So we're going to keep checking these spots, but as hot as it is, you'd think we'd come across a spot with a lot of water. If we do, we're going to set up and wait on them because that's where they got to be coming.
Yeah, with as dry as it's been, we're gonna sit water in the evenings. There's a bedding area that we know of, and there's a water hole close to there. So in the evening, we're probably gonna sit that water.
So we're bouncing around looking for sign, trying to find a good spot to kill an elk, and we come across this water hole, and it's a beautiful spot. So the wind's good, actually. We're considering maybe sitting here, but we're just gonna bump around and see if we can find something, and we may be back because this is a good spot. There's a little guy. We just stumbled into him. Look at him looking at us.
There's one left.
Oh yeah. That's a bull too. I can tell by the neck, but I cannot see his head. Can you?
No, I can't see his head. He's gonna walk.
Yeah.
He's gonna walk to the left.
Yeah. It's a 5-by. That's a good sign.
Yeah, at least we're seeing him.
Yeah.
Not the one we're looking for.
No. That's a good sign, though. So we're doing plenty of walking, and we're seeing some elk, okay, but nothing to write home about. I mean, some little guys, and but I know that they're here. I mean, last year, Maddie wound up, I mean, she saw a lot of good elk, okay? But elk, I mean, elk are finicky. I mean, weather dictates how they're gonna act, and sometimes they talk, and sometimes they don't. And so far this trip, we know that we're gonna have to shake it up. So we're gonna put out reconnaissance cameras and see if we can have them help tell us what we need to do. This is kind of an awkward position to put a reconnaissance. And normally, if I'm on level ground, I'll put it about thigh high. But I'm not on level ground. I'm gonna put this overlooking this little wallow down here. And it's a steep angle, so I'm putting it up here high on the tree. And I'm gonna angle it down at the wallow. So it looks a little bit unusual, but that's the way it's gotta be done for this setup right here. One of the best things about elk hunting to me is the country that they live in. I mean, look at this place. Something kind of beautiful. Way down there. Boy, he answered real quick though. That's weird. Another one. They're so far off. Hit it again.
Yeah, we're toward the end of September. They should just be screaming their heads off.
They should be.
Weather and the moon has a lot to do with it.
So here's a good sign. Look what I found on the road. A nice, lucky horseshoe. Let's hope it's lucky. So we've been walking about 20, 30 minutes. Climbed a steep hill. We're up on top of a ridge. We got bad weather coming. They're talking about 6 days of rain, and it's been dry here. The weather's beautiful now, but it's awful quiet. Conditions are perfect to be able to hear anything, including them hearing us. So we got to be real quiet.
Young bulls. It's just young bulls sparring. The bigger ones down below them.
That's within a couple hundred yards for sure. I don't think that's Sasquatch.
We're going to get a lot of weather in the next several days. So this evening we're going to really concentrate on getting a bull down before it gets really nasty. When the weather hits here, it gets really bad on the mountain, slick, a lot of mud. We're going to try to get it done tonight.
It's been really dry, real dry, and walking around has been a challenge. And so it was like, you know what, there's a water hole that always has water. Now, we'd done plenty of walking, and we had the reconics at some water holes that were kind of little mud holes, but I mean, there wasn't a sure enough water hole except for this one spot. It's where Maddie killed her bull last year. So we headed back to that same area and decided, you know what, we're gonna sit in ambush, but before we do that, we're gonna build just a little blind, kind of like a turkey blind. I sit right here, and this stuff right here, the purpose is to just break up my silhouette. All right, so here's the setup. We're in a ground blind. We just finished making it. It's kind of like turkey hunting, making a nice setup. So we've got a pond down here in front of us, about 100 yards, and it is hot, really hot. And theoretically, the elk will wind up coming in here right before dark. So what we've done, get set up in here way early. Come up here, get everything set to where if one comes down there, I am so rock solid. The whole deal is going to be identify if it's the right kind of bull we're looking for, and then make the call. Right there. Yeah. Yeah, I see him. There's another one coming in. That first one was a shooter, right?
That first one's a good one.
There's another one behind it, I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just a spike, not that one.
Okay.
On the left. The good one's coming up on the left.
Okay.
You got him.
Okay, I got him. Okay, standing broadside.
Yeah.
Here goes. Goodness gracious. Bam. Simple as that. I he shot, and I thought he didn't even flinch. I mean, the recoil. Holy smokes, talk about waiting the last minute. I mean, we got 5 more minutes of daylight left, that's it. And they came in so quiet.
Didn't say a word. It's been quiet all night.
We have been sitting here for hours and literally have not heard a peep, not a peep. All of a sudden, one just sticks up right there. I knew if one came in and he was a shooter, he had 2 chances, slim and none. Here you go. That's a souvenir for you. That's pretty good. Now we got to find out how far off that hill he went.
Yeah, that's a steep side.
So I continue to be amazed every time we approach an animal. I mean, I love looking at them, but first off, when we shot this guy, both of us thought he went that way.
Off the edge.
Off the edge. Instead, he came down here to the water's edge. And we come over here and look at his antlers. You think he's missing something? Is that amazing or what? I mean, he wound up, he fell over backwards and literally he broke his antler off and in 2 pieces, but Conroe Taxidermy can fix that for us. But I'm telling you, that is remarkable. You know, the plan, I mean, the bulls have been quiet. We haven't hardly heard anything.
Very quiet.
You know, Nevin said it earlier today, let's just go up and sit in a water hole and let's just wait. And I mean, clearly, this guy came in and he had 2 other guys with him and he was standing up there on the side just perfect. And then another thing that amazes me, I mean, I'm shooting a 300 Win Mag. This is a 180 grain Sierra Game Changer bullet. And I mean, he just took it like a champ. He just stood up there. And I thought, you said you saw him flinch. I thought, there's no way I could miss. And down he goes. But man, look at him. I mean, he's a nice 6 point and he's exactly what I came here for. You know, Quinlan Ranch has got some unbelievable hunting, not just for elk, but they've got black bear and mule deer. Of course, I've been up here on a mule deer hunt. Last year, tell everybody what happened right in this exact same spot.
Same pond. Maddie shot her bull right over there on the other side of this exact same pond. We was in the same setup.
Maddie's bull probably died, what, 20 feet away from here?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, this is a hot spot for sure, but we're gonna get these guys fixed. If y'all want more information on Quinlan Ranch, we're gonna have a direct link off of our website over to their site. And you get a hold of them or you give them a call and they would love to hear from you. I'm just thrilled to death we got our work cut out for us tonight.
It's gonna be late.
Yeah, we're gonna have a late night, but that's worth it. So I look at this and I'm thinking, the reason why the Quinlan Ranch is so good is because it's a privately held piece of property. It's a giant piece of property. It's these private landowners that are committed to making the habitat the best it can be for the wildlife and for you and for me and for future generations. And speaking of that, it's what the people over at SCI do. They stand first for all hunting, whether it's habitat or whether it's game management. They stand first for hunters globally. And it's for that reason I'd encourage you to become a member of SCI if you're not. So check out SCI, and if you're not a member, please consider joining. My name is Keith Warren, and I want to thank y'all for watching The High Road.